so you've just read something that pissed you off.
Yeah.
Okay, why did it piss you off?
So the thing I read was a discussion of performance management, and are people going to go back to numbers? If people have thrown out numbers, are they going to go back to numbers? Which, by the way, is not factually correct. So I find that slightly annoying, because a lot of the work that you and I have been involved with is how do we get better numbers? We don't need to get rid of numbers, but they need to mean something and measure something and do something useful so that we get good insights, so that we get good decisions, so that we win. So there's an importance to all of that. And so there was some stuff in there that frustrated me. But then you come down to the end and the piece says, okay, why are these shifts happening?
Yeah. And
one of the things it says was, well, because work is increasingly about teams. And then it stops and goes on to something else. And I'm like, good Lord, that's the thing. Why don't we sit on that for a little while and marinate on it and figure out, okay, what does that mean? What does work lives on teams mean? People like to go, teamwork's important. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Or teams are great. Anyway, moving back to evaluating people and telling them that they're A's or B's or C's or all sorts of other annoying and patronizing things that we do. We just keep going, teams, yes, and then moving on. I want us to stop and to go, what's that like? Because it's the most important experience we have at work. It's, in many ways, the only experience.
What's what like?
Being on a team. I show up, I don't go to Cisco every day. I go to my team at Cisco. That's the sun, the moon, and the stars of my experience at work. And my God, I spend an awful lot of time there. I think we instinctively look for opportunities to team with people. Now, and then you say, well, what are those opportunities? What's teamwork like? And of course, most people, you say, I'm going to put you on a team, and they go, oh, God, really? You know.
Well, but the other flip side is,
but when it works.
Yeah, but if you say, what was the best work experience you ever had?
Exactly.
The first place you go to isn't your own experience, weirdly enough.
No,
it's the fact I was on this team or I was with this team leader who blah, 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 blah. So the first place you go when it's awesome, when you're on the mountaintop and the wind is whipping by your ears and it just feels like you're just exulting and everything that you could possibly do, you're not by yourself. No. You are with a group of people. So you're right. The worst experience is, oh my God, I was with this team that was so crushing, soul-destroying, terrible. I mean, this was amazing. And the difference was the quality of those relationships that existed on this team versus that team. If you start with the premise that basically human beings, the power of a human being is that each human's nature is unique. That's the power of human nature, right? Is that we all bring something unique and special to the world of work. In which case, that means that we've got to, if we're super respectful of our own uniqueness, it means that we're even more respectful of the uniqueness of other people. And we come together on some kind of ineffable level. We get that we need to be with other people. I don't mean just from a lonely standpoint. I just mean from a creativity or a collaboration or a flourishing standpoint. I need you, you need other people. Like, we are better together.
Together.
Right?
And it's like a little cliche, and it's also profoundly true.
It's also profoundly true. And yet when we actually look at what we do in organizations to make that flourishing happen, to give people that kind of mountaintop experience, you're right, we've almost parentheticalized it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
Back to the process of.
Yeah, but anyway. Anyway.
For the vast preponderance of human history, when we want to get something done, we've got to figure out how to do it with other people. For the vast preponderance of HR history, when we think about how to accelerate getting stuff done, we go, we just got to talk to you about you and ignore the entire context of the work that surrounds you and the people that surround you. I think it's just a huge mess.
Yeah, no. If you look at measuring high-performing teams, and you look at the qualities or the conditions that exist on high-performing teams, and you start measuring it.
Right.
I won't go into all the detail of this, but you actually you can pick 8 questions. 4 of those questions deal with the individual's experience. So unquestionably, you as an individual want to feel like you're bringing your best to the team. You want to feel like you're heard. You want to feel you're recognized, you're challenged as an individual. We do, on some level, feel that we're jolly special. So you do have to accommodate that. We are jolly special.
Yeah.
But the other 4 questions all deal with we. They deal with the group's experience. So if you wanted to think about like what happens, what does it really feel like to be on an amazing team? If you think about how you build great teams, there is an integration need of like, what do people want as individuals, and then what do they want to share as a group? Either one of them, you miss out either one and you're screwed up. But the bottom line, I think, for all of us is we think about people in work, almost entirely we've missed the sense that all of this happens. There's a we-ness, and it's a small local we-ness.
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 or 5 people right here. none of what we do in the world of people and human resources in general takes that into account as the founding principle.
Like, okay, what's the point of all of this individual stuff that we're doing?
So what's HR for?
So what's HR for? HR is to increase the performance of an organization.
Okay.
It's there to help people do better work. That is not just a narrow sort of economic concern. That's a spiritual concern in some way, right? I don't want to rock up to the office and be okay because I feel like being okay. I want to do something important. I want to do something meaningful. I want to do something that makes me feel good. I want to do something that says, God, I made a dent in the universe today. You know, the role of HR is to engage very deeply with that. And the first step is to say, where does that live? Where do we see performance? What's the unit of performance? And it's
the team.
Always a team.
It's the team.
It's always a team. We're a little bit allergic or a little bit afraid of the complexity of it all. But of course, the complexity is the magnificence. The complexity is the joy. The complexity is why teams can solve for this, because only a team can figure out what's distinctly special about each individual on the team and figure out how to point that at something valuable. HR from the center can't do that. We don't know how to step into that.
But going back to like what should HR do? HR should build more teams like our best teams, because excellence happens on teams.
Right.
Excellence lives there. We haven't taken an excellence-focused research approach. We haven't said, where does it work?
Where's it awesome?
Where is it awesome? Where is it awesome in terms of performance? Where is it awesome in terms of engagement? Whatever our measure is, where is it awesome? Because if you started with that question and went, where is it awesome? You wouldn't build a once-a-year performance appraisal focused on ranking and yanking or stacking and tracking.
No, and
each
you would look at that
individual.
and go, hang on, why on earth
why are we doing that? You wouldn't build a 9-box grid. You wouldn't build individual competencies. You wouldn't build 360s.
You wouldn't build individual development plans.
You wouldn't build an engagement system that
Right.
deploys your engagement survey to the wrong freaking organizational structures. You'd go, oh my gosh, excellence happens on dynamic teams. Let's go figure out where those teams are. Let's figure out what's happening, and let's do more of that. And I think we haven't advanced the ball on that front at all, because we started in the wrong place.
And we're imprisoned by the past. And we think we need a better 9-box and a better competency model and a better individual development plan and a better. No, we need to
reset. We need to reset. Sorry, you got rush. R word. Mine was reset. Yours was rivet. Rush. Okay.
Or Gavin. No, that's a G word.
It's a G word.
We need to rush into the world of teams. We're late.
Rush was better.
Our businesses need us here.
Yeah.
Because this really matters.
Yeah.
It's mattered for a while, but you look at work today, you look at work across continents, across time zones, across countries, across cultures, you look at information flooding to people the whole time. Our businesses, our organizations need fantastic teams. They need us to help them get there.
If you start here, you'd build an entirely different approach to getting the best out of people. If you don't start here, you end up with where we are, a bunch of siloed, separate systems that seem to be completely ignorant that teams are where great performance happens or doesn't happen. It's like it's like we've completely started in the wrong place, and as a result,
we're digging in the wrong place.
We're digging in the wrong place. Our staff is too short. We're digging in the wrong place.